taking Muni everywhere. Every hood, literally I would take, because my mom and dad.
Would you say? You called it what?
Muni, the bus.
Muni?
That's the train.
That's what it's called, Muni.
Muni.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
You never heard of Muni?
No,
SF Muni.
I never heard of that.
Well, I'm from the Bay.
We from the Bay.
I'm from
You know what I'm
Richmond. So.
saying?
The bus.
No,
you heard of the bus.
Muni is their y'all regional transit. Y'all motherfucking Sacramento.
Yeah.
Light
Y'all got
rail.
it.
We from the Bay out
Y'all
here.
got
right?
it. And then you got BART, which is the whole
BART, and we got
whole Bay
Muni.
Area.
Yeah, I've heard of BART.
Yeah.
I never heard of Muni.
Yeah,
Okay,
Muni
so
is their
I'll
train.
say from taking the bus.
I thought you was. Hey, I didn't know. I thought you were nicknaming your Glock or something. Like I walk around, you know. I had my noonie on me everywhere I go.
I thought he was talking about his piece.
Hey, my noonie on me. Better watch out.
The Muni's loaded.
The Muni's loaded.
I really thought he was talking about his gun.
Beforehand, it's being proactive.
And that's
You know, if
people
you
watching.
Yeah, if you're on the inside, it's not just the fights that you're looking out for.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of creepy ass motherfuckers out here.
That be
and
grabbing
they out
ass.
Here, grabbing ass, and they out here, you know, dropping roofie pills and girls' drinks and shit like that. And it's our job to kind of keep our eyes wide open and the head on the swivel for those type of situations too, because those things all happen.
It is a trade-off. Both of y'all said it and took the words right out of my mouth. It's a trade-off. The front is harder because you got to think about telling people no, and niggas don't want to be told no. I can't get in because of this, that, and X, Y, Z. They don't want to be told that, so you got to deal with them mouthing off. And then you got their lady in the background who finna really mouth the fuck off.
The definition of a club.
A place to dance?
No, it's a place exclusive for people, dictated by the motherfucker that own it.
God damn, this nigga with definition. Get the
So this is my
dictionary.
thing. I laugh when people say it's not fair that this person's getting in and I'm not getting in. If you've been waiting in a line for a long time, I'm not saying I don't understand.
Right.
But what you gotta understand is it's a club. They get to choose who they let in and who they don't let in, and when they gonna let them in and when they not gonna let them in.
The negative side is what happened to you this weekend. You know, I've been in my fair share of gunfire, and so the scary part is yeah, you could literally get caught in the crossfires of some shit, trying to help and assist people, making sure that they're safe. So the negative is that you never know on any given day when, you know, a bullet could come your way.
Like where you're at, where you live too. True. Vegas, I feel like you can party in Vegas forever.
Truly.
It's just figuring a transition.
That's part of the culture.
I definitely hit a wall this last year. I did a 2-month-long birthday party here. We called it the Nicapalooza. And it was the first time ever at all the clubs.
When's your birthday?
I don't have one. I'm just forever lasting.
All year round.
We gotta run that back.
People who, they buy the service, they're paying for bottles, and they think that because they spend the money that people need to respect them. And one of my biggest pet peeves is people not respecting your server.
Right.
Or you treat the CEO or the janitor as the same respect as the CEO. That's like one of the important things. And I feel like people sometimes feel entitled, and so they get away.
What do you think Sacramento needs in order to become the big fish instead of just this little pond?
I feel like Sacramento needs like a contact person. There's a guy named Purple Miami, and he's in Miami, and he's like one of the dudes under the Dave Grootman Hospitality Group that you call if you're somebody you want to get in one of the clubs. He's got quite a bit of followers, but he's like the person you call. And so I feel like there needs to be, I've said this for years, there needs to be a guy like him or me in every city that people know, that they contact, and they say, hey, I'm here, I have a celebrity coming in, or I have this, or I have that, or I have money, and they don't want to wait in line. They're like us now. We know the industry, we're spoiled. Like if you go to Vegas, you're going to be spoiled on stuff. So, and I was respectful, polite. They oversold our table. It was where I was there for the Niners game in LA. Already pissed off the Niners lost, okay?
Right.
They oversold our table because OBJ and Travis Parker showed up and brought the whole fucking team of the Rams.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, not getting in. We have a guy that parties there like me, so he's a regular there, and he couldn't even get us in. And I was like, okay, I'm like done waiting, you know? And it's like that stuff's so irritating on how that is. I would love to just know who's the man in that town to contact. And I feel like someone needs to either create that, which I probably will, like a network of stuff like that. But I feel like what we really need is a contact person like that for big stuff. I feel like we need a day party spot.
Ooh.
We need a rooftop pool.
Ooh.
And I've always wanted to do like a boutique hotel that has all that shit in it. A rooftop pool, a dope ass party restaurant spot.
Right.
And then still have like the cool hotel type scene environment.
It's the host with the most.
The host with the most. Let me tell you, man.
Tap in with Josiah.
It's the only man I know that can go to the club multiple weekends in a row, take his shirt off, twist around their head like a helicopter, jumping on the couch, spraying everybody with bottles, and not get banned and kicked the fuck out. Man, straight up true player right here, man. You know, if you want some champagne in your face, man, you better go to where this man's at right here.
I got you.
He got
You
the
know
party,
where to find me too.
the party jumping.
Just telling you that.
Let's go back to the same buzz, right? And I really want to hear.
And it'd
Tony,
be hard to say no.
Wait. I really want to hear Tony's response to this. Let's go to that same bus. They pulled up. And they offered $1,000. Let's say they pull up and they offer 5 bands. What's your
Well, you changing the money now.
So
Hey,
because now
so
you're,
five, you
because
want 5 bands.
Because everything's a scale. I'm weighing out the risk for the reward.
But this is what I'm
right?
saying. Everybody has a price tag. So they come off the bus, $1,000. You're like, oh no, it ain't worth it.
Yeah, but
we got 5 bands. Are you gonna let us in or not?
Okay,
You're over capacity.
But I think
you let me in or not?
okay, but I think that's a little bit. Okay, so now you're strictly just making it about is it any money amount, and I don't think you can do that because if somebody came up and said, "Man, I got $1 million,"
Well, I'm
like
that's,
you're talking about
that's
a life,
super
you're talking about a life changing situation.
Let's
Like
say,
now, like
let's say
like what you
2,000.
mean?
Let's say
like
2,000.
that, I could take that and buy the venue that I'm letting people in at.
Listen.
What is the hardest part of your job?
I mean, anybody can be a promoter. You know, it's just really having to put in the blood, sweat, and tears in it, man. Anybody can do it. It's just really, like you guys said, the other podcast is rubbing elbows with the right people, man. You know, being a good person, being a genuine person, you know, not fucking anybody over, being real with everybody, you know. Promoters that just do it for clout, man. Like, they're not even, they're just here just for fucking,
A season.
Yeah, I don't feel like people really. It depends when you say promoters, because I see promoters that get paid that don't even get paid. You know, they're just there.
promoting.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember when I started to cut the check? Like, I'm not gonna post anything. I'm not gonna go anywhere unless I'm getting a check. You know, that's
Right.
And then people just do it for clout. You know, are you doing it for the clout? Or are you doing it for the money? Or are you doing it because you love it? Or, you know, there's people doing it for different. Are you doing it to get girls? You know,
Right.
Are you doing it for the drugs and the alcohol? Are you doing it for, you know? There's a lot of things. You know.
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah.
It wasn't on the dance floor necessarily. It was right next to the dance floor.
Oh,
it was
shit.
in a booth.
It was in the booth behind the
Man,
Hey,
Hey.
how come I haven't heard?
he was
Man.
getting clapped out on the couch, man. So, because she ended up getting banned for that.
Oh, you got caught up.
And so when she came back with her man, and then he was asking why he get banned, I was like, nigga, somebody was in their guts. He said somebody gets their guts. He was like, what do you mean I wasn't here? I was like, my nigga, they ain't got nothing to do with me, big dog.
Yeah, the titties was the funniest part I ever seen in my life, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. To get back to that, the titties. I was like, there's hella pink nipples out here.
Hey, bro, let me say
Hella pink nipples.
Yeah. Like you own
Can I
that.
cuss on here? Yeah. Oh, okay. What the fuck? At the end of the day, like, if you really pay attention to security, which I do because I throw events, it's like they're really the first line of defense. You feel me? So it's like they're mainly probably the most important people at the club.
Facts. I've heard
Even
that.
though they don't get paid for it, but it's like they're
Right.
damn near risking their lives every day.
That's why
So it's really dope because a lot of people forget about it and they want to give niggas attitudes and shit like that. That's why when I go to an event, motherfuckers be like, they don't know who I am. I'm like, I'm not gonna like press them like, I'm cool code, I'm this and that. I'm like, they're doing their job, bro.
Right,
Like,
right.
And then motherfuckers come up and they be like, this is cool code. I'm like, bro, it's good. Like, they doing what they're supposed to do to get paid. Like, I'm happy that they're checking me. I'm happy that they're,
Right,
you know what I mean? Because
right.
they're going to be doing this to the next motherfucker. You feel me? Like, I know that I'm safe. They're doing their job.
Y'all hear this shit? Do I got to point at the cameras again? Y'all hear
Point at the
this
fucking
shit?
cameras, bro. Y'all need to give
Y'all
these boys
hear
some
this
respect,
shit?
bro. And that's what I'm
God
saying.
damn it.
I love this podcast because y'all,
Fuck.
they're actually creating a lane to let y'all know, like, what type of shit they really go through. Like, I know y'all like to give security niggas problems and shit like that. Like, do you understand they're really, like, risking their lives to make sure y'all have a good time.
That
Birthdays,
part.
anniversaries, weddings. Like,
That part.
y'all niggas need to tip these niggas, man. Like,
Man.
y'all, they making sure y'all go home to y'all
With that,
kids.
with that smooth joint.
They making sure y'all get home to y'all kids, man.
True emotion, true feeling coming out. What do you feel about
So
that?
I can't speak for others, but I could definitely speak for myself. I feel like when I was drinking, and I would drink very heavily, I would drink 10 to 20 drinks, you know, like on a regular night. You know what I mean? Like, not even blacked out. I'd be, you know, remembering everything. Wake up the next day, you know, go to work. It's normal, you know, but
Right. It's a life. That's a life.
you know, my emotions would definitely get the best of me, and sometimes I would do things that were out of my character, you know? So I would say sometimes people probably do things that they wouldn't do when they were sober, you know what I mean? But I'm not judging because I've been there, you know what I mean? So, like, it is what it is. We all go out to have a good time, and you just have to, you know, kind of stay coherent and understand where you're at, know your surroundings, and who you're with, because ultimately the people you surround yourself with will be the people that represent you. Depending on who you're with will depend on how your night's gonna go.
That's true too. That's an energy. It's a vibe. You got to feel that vibe and ride it. What about you? Fictional characters or true feelings?
You know, it's because I think, you know, the people say it all the time. It's like cliche. They say, you know, the truth kind of finds itself through the alcohol. You know, like a lot of times it was on your chest, and then the alcohol let it come off your lips, type of thing. So, you know, but to what you said, is sometimes people do get out of character.
Yeah.
I think they sometimes they use the alcohol to escape.
As an
So
excuse.
they know who they are. They see the reflection in the mirror, but then when they go out and get drunk, they use that as an excuse to become this another version of themselves. They alter ego.
You're in the bartender scene, right? You know, and
Say it with your chest, when
you know, in general, who gets more numbers, bartenders or bottle server girls?
Honestly,
Who gets bagged more?
I feel like
Bag
I feel
more.
like
Bag.
I feel like the bottle service girls probably get more numbers, just because the bartenders are so busy. The bottle service got a little bit more time on their hands. You know, even when I met my girl at the club, like, you know, she wasn't my girl at the time, but I didn't have time to sit there and talk to her.
But
You know?
but you was bartending.
I was bartending. You know?
Quality.
Stop. Stop.
Quality.
Come on, bro.
I didn't even have time. Like, at the end of the day, I'm there to work. I'm not there to associate with people.
Mish Murdy.
Yeah.
Mish Murdy.
Yeah, that place.
This nigga over here
Right.
speaking
Yeah.
Spanish.
Y'all both had it right.
Yeah.
Nah, that nigga speaking gibberish. This nigga speaking Teletubby or something. I don't know what the fuck that was.
I will never hit a bitch. If the bitch is bigger than you, like Winton with a wig, the fuck? Out your fucking mind.
Why it gotta be me again with a motherfucking wig?
This bitch was very robust. Very robust. I couldn't believe how big she was. I was like, damn.
Go and put that wig on.
Oh,
make
she
it,
is?
Make
Oh,
it
she is.
make it equal. So that when the cameras start rolling, they say it's just two big bitches out there fighting.
She's very robust.
Like
I like
that
using
Queen
that word.
Latifah
Her
movie?
bones are thicker than
Bringing
they
down
should
the
be.
house.
Robust.
Put that wig on.
Yeah, getting slapped is definitely the ultimate disrespect when it comes to a man and a
Open
man.
hand slap.
No, it's not the ultimate.
That and spit.
It's up there.
Slapping
that-
with your dick.
No, it's that and spit. You
That's for a
spitting
female, bro.
You spitting somebody's face, bro. That's a death wish.
Hold on, wait. You said slapping him with a dick. Slapping him with a dick. Hold on, wait. Back it up to what you said.
Nigga, I'm gonna have to kill you and your family, nigga.
Listen,
Hold up.
You gonna slap another man with your
How you
dick,
gonna
dog?
get that
Like,
situ-
what the fuck?
how you gonna get in
Also,
that? How you
because
gonna,
you're doing two things, nigga. Think about it. You're killing two birds with one stone. You're showing a nigga,
bro.
look at my size of my dick,
Oh, bro.
and then you're slapping him with it.
You
I
gonna
don't
try
know.
and ju- hey,
You might be sitting down at the bus stop and you just slap.
I don't want my dick on. Yeah, I don't want my dick on him for too long, but slap on the face real quick, and then pee in his face or something.
how you gonna slap him in the face, bro? You gonna jump up there with your dick and just try to jump up and hit him in the head?
only way I can see that happening.
I almost did it one time. No, I'm dead ass. No, I know. 100%. That's the ultimate disrespect.
Oh fuck!
You right on that.
All right.
Let me speak.
You know what I mean?
Let me
That's
speak on that
opportunity.
quick. I found out something this weekend where somebody I work with, there was a group of people partying in the table, and he caught them using coke. They were taking lines on the table. So he walks up to him. He told him like, "Hey, you can't do this in here. You gotta leave." He was like, "Come on, man, just let us have our fun, whatever." He's talking to him. He's like, "Nah, it's a no tolerance. You gotta go."
Right.
Dude offers him $400.
Oh,
Smooth handshake.
That's beyond a smooth handshake.
That's a dap up, nigga.
So
That's a dap up in a pound.
right, he
Damn.
offered him $400 and he declined.
that's a good man.
Man,
That's a good man.
he declined him and he told him he's like the policy's the policy. You got to go.
Sheesh.
400.
Was the 400 out?
See, I don't know the full details. I just know that he confirmed that that's the price that he was offered.
That should be a lifetime ban.
Damn.
In my
400.
opinion.
Damn.
And see,
If you come in
roofies-
with a roofie, let me tell you this right now, you should be getting a lifetime.
So I have a
ban.
question. Oh, go
but
ahead.
that's probably the single hardest thing for a guard to catch is a roofie, because it's like
Yeah, it's time. A lot of it's timing though, and shout out to the bartenders.
100%.
Shout out to the bartenders and the barbacks, because I'll be honest with you, they are the ones that are usually able to catch them.
Yeah.
With these slips, because
Yeah.
they don't catch them. We don't catch them necessarily
door.
within their pocket, because
No.
they could just have one pill in their pocket.
And
The metal, the
it's not
the
gonna go
wand is
off.
not going to catch that.
Right.
I'm not going to feel a little pebble pill or nothing
Right.
like that. So those things is going to be hard to get checked coming through the door
Right.
or anything like that. But it's usually a lot of the staff
Yeah.
or other patrons that's looking. There's a lot of eyes out there, so we rely on a lot of people
Facts.
to do that. That's why I
Facts.
appreciate those people that come forward to say, "Hey, this person's stepping up."
Like, man, you tripping? Like, I gotta pay. Like, yeah, no, you don't have to pay at all, sir.
But yeah,
You
yeah.
can go wait right there
Exactly.
in the back of the
You
line.
ain't gotta pay.
Right.
son.
You ain't gotta pay nothing, sir. Back of the line, right over there.
Somebody think, because they'll sit there and say, "Man, you know, we dealt with this."
Right.
You know, somebody slide us that smooth joint, right? They almost asking it as a rhetorical. They not asking like they want to know the answer.
Right.
Nigga, you know the answer. You saw the 100 just like I saw it. My pocket saw it just like your eyes saw it. You feel me?
You are not lying there, man. DJ Gio for sure. For me, it was definitely a name in the club when I was going out DJing. He made a name for himself out here in the local clubs in Sacramento. And I thank you for everything that you have done for this city as far as trying to put it on your back and like make a name for it. You know what I mean? Like, he was making a name for himself as a DJ. And a legend lost way before his time.
Condolences to, you know, his family, friends, people that was real close to him.
Right.
You know, Sacramento, man, we got to make that shift.
Right. Shift for Sacramento. Person who knows that he can't fight and ain't trying to fight, he's like, nigga, I know I can't fight, but I still got issues where I want to fight somebody. I'm gonna have this Glock on me just to make sure if I can't fight, I'm finna win this fucking battle. The difference is yes, we knew the risk when we was going out into the clubs. It's just during that time when we was going out to the clubs, we wasn't thinking that anyone was bringing a strap or pulling that fucking shit anytime I've been out, anytime I seen a fight.
The point is people they're gonna choose their own impulses over your advice. Period. That's been the beginning of time.
Okay.
How long they been saying drug-free zone?
Years.
Niggas be high as fuck out here. They gonna choose their own impulses and Winton, the new word, vices.
Oh shit.
They gonna choose those
So
things.
look, Rob,
It's a night scene, right? There's a bunch of things like alcohol,
Like what I'm pouring right now.
right?
Vices.
Right? Yeah.
Winton, hey, everybody, I want y'all to know. My man Winton. No.
You don't even
My
need to
man
be
Winton
saying,
over
bro.
here learned a new word, y'all.
Nah, bro. Like,
speak on it.
Man, it wasn't even that long in the letter count.
go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Put it out there.
No, matter of fact, I want you to tell it.
How about you read the question? Because it don't sound right coming from me, bruh. It
Okay.
don't sound right.
Okay.
I fucked up. It don't sound right. All right. Yes, I learned a new word today. Okay, Rob. Thank you for telling me that.
In celebration of your education tonight,
This nigga said
how
celebration.
about you recite this new word that you just learned?
Vices. Go ahead, read the question, bro. I can't read the question. It don't sound right me saying vices like alcohol. Look at how you're saying it, bro. Read the question. Read the question.
In this nightlife scene, Vices like alcohol.
Hell no, don't even sound like me. Fuck that shit. No. Hell no. They ain't letting Michael B in? Michael B. Jordan.
They ain't let Killmonger in, man.
That don't make no sense to me. So my question is
who that is, right? Who? Right. You know Minkus from Boy Meets World? That's reincarnated right there. That's Minkus, my nigga. She's the butt of jokes for a lot of shit.
Her dolphin laugh.
So it, you know what I mean? So it's everything.
It's a fucking dolphin laugh. I swear to God. Sound like a fucking dolphin.
I ain't know dolphins could laugh like that. All right.
If you don't get on stage, you're not a comedian to me. You're a comedic personality, a comedic person, and I do not take away from your humor and your content that you're making people laugh. That's the game, that's the job. But we got to establish the world of a stand-up comedian and a fucking social media comic personality. There's always going to be friction if we don't establish that. Right, you know what I mean? Because you saying top three?
Top three. Start with number 3.
And we're going off alive, right?
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. Stand up.
My number 3 is Gerard Carmichael.
Gerard Carmichael.
Yes, he had the Carmichael show. He's done a couple of specials. He has his new one on HBO right now called Rothaniel. I went to one of his shows. Just chasing to go watch him. I got hit by a car on my way to go inside.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, I got hit by a Beetle. It was a newer one too, so you know a bitch was driving. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Fucking hit me right before I went into the show, and as I with Martin Lawrence, number 2.
Oh, okay,
that's interesting.
Right.
Def Comedy Jam. Just because a lot of people always ask me who you feel like your material is kind of around and shit, or who you, I don't know, mimic or whatever.
Right.
I grew up watching Martin. I grew up watching the show, and then I also grew up watching Def Comedy Jam. No matter whenever I feel like I should stop doing comedy, I'll watch some of his shit, and it makes me start doing comedy again. As Dave fucking Chappelle.
All right.
Fucking ever.
Right.
I stopped doing comedy for a year. I was just like burnt out. I was over it. Then I watched Sticks and Stones, and I was like, I gotta get back on stage because that nigga is that boy. I'm gonna say something I probably shouldn't say. That's my fuck. I need to get that tattooed on my back, bro. That's literally my life. I always say some shit that I probably shouldn't say. But
you know,
stand up is the hardest art form than all that other shit. I'll stand on that shit.
Right, okay.
It's instant gratification, is instant recognition, is also instant you ain't good at this shit. You gotta go right in front of them people. You don't really get to practice this shit unless you practice it in front of people. So there's no secret tricks to this shit. You either got it or you don't.
How you gonna make a joke out of stovetop stuffing? Like, bro, had me crying more with Dave. The mystique of him is the comeback.
Yes.
You was on top. You went to the bottom.
Very
and
true.
you was able to rise back to the top.
True.
I think that's so underrated.
You gonna make me feel bad. I ain't pussy from the back. When I'm looking into that asshole, I'm degraded.
To me, I don't like comedians that are trying to make me laugh. Like, I like naturals, you know, and it's just like the way they talk, it makes you laugh, and how they deliver it makes you laugh. To be honest, so at 3, I would have Cat Williams. You know what I mean?
You know what?
damn. Okay. You know, these are good
He's
names
one
I ain't
of
thinking about.
the most underrated, and I can say that because he still should be where he was when he had his peak.
I agree.
I know there's a lot of blame going on. There's a lot of people that blame the club owners. There's a lot of people blaming the promoters. There's a lot of people blaming the police. There's a lot of people blaming the gang members. There's a lot of people blaming just people who go out at night. There's a whole bunch of blame going. Those are the ones responsible. So let's not shift and say it's this group's fault, it's the owner's fault, it's the promoter's fault, it's the police fault.
People firing.
They wasn't the ones shooting. Only thing we can do is maybe we talking about it enough. Other forums that cover these type of things, that talk about, you know, the community, and they're talking about people's circumstances. Maybe it might touch someone's heart that might be on that fence. And that's enough. If it touches one person who was thinking about pulling the trigger somewhere,
Right.
that works for me, because that means that's souls that's saved. He gonna gloat about it, man. I fought a buffalo in a phone booth.
Yep. Look out of Buffalo.
Mr. Ban over there.
Mr. Ban.
Mr. Ban over there.
Mr. Ban.
Yeah,
I never
so-
showed my
you
I
Mr.
never showed
Ban.
my
Mr.
ID.
Ban
I
called
never
in.
showed my
Mr.
ID.
Ban.
Mr. Ban, call there.
He just needs to get it one time for the one
Are
time.
you over here
One
taking
time
out
for the one time.
senior citizens? Or that's who you want to take in the phone booth? The dude with the AARP card?
Oh man,
I'm a whittle this down. Anybody that's being super loud, that's having a negative effect on me getting that smooth handshake, come see me in the booth.
Yeah.
We've been in those situations where somebody about to give out that smooth handshake. You know, everybody happy they about to get in, about to get paid, and they about to have a good time.
Right.
And then somebody over there got to say, "Oh man, so I gotta pay this? Yeah, nigga, you gotta pay this $100. Now come see me in this booth." I'm tired of them motherfuckers.
I think I read that there was a quote that he said something about like some people will like what I did.
What's sad about that is he's right.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. Right. There are going to be people that feel that way. I mean, it's
what is that?
obvious.
What is that implying?
Black people that are
that some people will think it's okay, or
right. It's a demographic of people that you know feel like that this is what they deserve. You know, I'm still in Tyler Perry's quote on this. Some people you just supposed to have for a season.
Oh yeah, they definitely came with expiration dates.
A lot of people be like, "Man, okay, man, that's all 4 of them.
All 4 seasons.
That's about three seasons over." You should have.
My question: you said you notice certain traits in certain when they're toxic. Like what's a toxic trait? Like this fool chews ice with his mouth open.
Cause I'm selling everybody grease.
Ice with the mouth.
You know,
that's just being picky. That's not toxic.
Yeah.
That's just
so what's a toxic
annoying.
trait? What's a toxic trait? He is telling me a story that I can put a video and a movie to. Lyrically genius.
Okay, so
they just didn't slap. It didn't slap for me. It didn't like. There wasn't a song where I'm like, like let's turn up in the car. I'm fist pumping out the fucking window.
That is, I mean, music has become now to where it has to be a banger, right? People forgot what the message they're putting across, what they're rapping about. I mean, you did speak on it, about what he was talking about, like going through his whole life, but I feel like the mass majority now listen to music for the club banger, and I think we're all guilty of it.
It's different than the actual lyrics itself. It's the concept. I don't think there's any rapper except maybe a few, maybe one that's alive right now, maybe 1 or 2, and I'm thinking 2, and that's it, that can even come up with the concepts to even talk about. Forget about putting the words together. There's a lot of guys can put words together good. There's a lot of guys that could do that. There's a lot of guys who can, their words create a visual. There's a lot of talented, artists out there. But the way his concept is so high. It's so above what the normal is. Like he resets the surface. Like everybody else is here on surface level. And I'm not talking about just, excellence. I'm talking about just what he's talking about. The content in it. It's like there's guys that they can't do that. They can't do that. That's the key part. They don't have the ability to. Their brains don't have that way of doing it. That's how I look at it. Before we get kind of dive into some of the topics we have is the moment of silence for the souls of those kids and teachers that were lost and thoughts with those families.
Man, that was a crazy day. And to think we just recently experienced it ourselves here in Sacramento.
Right.
And then it continues to happen.
You are getting reports that there's a live active shooter in a school.
Right.
You are paid to go in there and do that.
Immediately.
Not stand around and get a perimeter.
Right.
Get your ass in there. If that ain't for you, put your badge up, put your gun up, and go get another job. Nobody coming at me saying, "Oh well, if you think it's that easy, once you put a badge on, I ain't signed up to be a cop." If I sign up to be a pilot, I'm expected to land that motherfucker.
Right.
100% of the time.
Right.
So you took the job as serious as being a police officer is. Your ass need to act.
Listen, when you make a law, there needs to be a reason for the law. Like, think about it. You can't keep these. There's already 300 federal laws banning specifics on guns, rounds, drums, all kinds of stuff. That's not going to change nothing.
I get that.
You have to talk about the behaviors of what happened in this situation specifically. Who did it? Why they did it? The root cause of it.
Well, basically, when it comes down to conservatives and liberals, conservatives have just made it a way where they just make you bend over. But Democrats, man, they just convince you that it's consensual. You getting fucked. Both sides need to start thinking that way, because what we get into is that we're just gonna have these two firm gangs off to the left and the right, and we're gonna say we're just gonna hold on it just because of that, not even because it actually is effective. That's what I see. Most people that talk about when you see it on social media, people talking, I'm gonna hold on to the Second Amendment right, I'm gonna die before they take my gun away. But you ain't talking about dying after they've taken fucking 40% of your money.
My solution was something I think just should happen is that a different type of gun, like basically Japan, other countries, this has been shown through studies already. Japan has some of the greatest gun laws, I think, me personally, because of how long it takes to even get a gun. I think you should have 3 references. Just like you need references for a job. I think you should have references.
But to your point, I think that goes to the adjustment. Most people that keep talking about and nailing it home about the Second Amendment, they're not even opening up to that.
Yeah, I think they should do that.
They're not even open up to the idea that, and I've been saying this, and this is me as a gun owner. The question should be longer than you getting your motherfucking driver's license.
Right, 100%.